Okay, you're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show here on Highland Radio. Delighted to welcome into studio the winners, the overall winners of the 50th Donegal International Rally. Driver Joss Moffett and co-pilot Andy Hayes. Gentlemen, good morning to you and a big congratulations. Well done.
Thank you much, and thank you for having us here this morning.
Great stuff. This is your first time winning this competition.
Yeah, it sure is. And we've been doing it many times over the years, and yeah, granted, my brother there has won it twice, but yeah, I suppose it was our turn this year, and a tough weekend it was, but yeah, certainly a nice one to get. Finally.
Now, you finished ahead of him, 46.7. It was a Moffett 1-2. Did you, is that bragging rights, or is it, what way does that work?
Yeah, I suppose it is for the next year anyway, until next year, but yeah, I suppose he's now won the rally twice, and this is my first time to win it, so we've a bit of catching up to do yet, compared to our home rally there in Monaghan, where we've both won it 3 times each. So we're on an equal playing field there, but he's still slightly ahead in Donegal.
Good stuff. And it's obviously a friendly rivalry, and you encourage each other, but you push each other on too, I presume.
Oh, without a doubt. I think over the years, we've really pushed it. It's probably progressed our driving, where we're pushing each other rally after rally. So. Yeah, without a doubt.
Andy, what's it like on board as a co-driver? There's a lot of... Well, either, firstly, you have to be a wee bit mad, maybe, or you just have to really trust the driver. What's it like as the co-pilot?
Yeah, no, I suppose with someone like Josh, it's easy enough because he knows what he's doing, so you just look after your own thing. It can be a little bit hairy with certain drivers, I won't lie, but no, with Josh, when he's on top of his game, it's quite simple enough. You just sit there, call the notes, do what you're supposed to do, and he looks after the rest. Yeah,
and you're glancing down at your notes all the while, are you? Do you spend most of your time looking at the notes or out in front of you?
Probably most of the time looking down, and then especially in the Donegal stage, which probably makes it really unique. There's so much going on. The stages are quite fast in places, so it just means that you don't have time to look out the window at all. So you just keep your head down, and you're just kind of hoping for the best, that you are where you think you are.
Right, stupid question incoming. We've all felt queasy looking at our phone in the back of the car. How do you get past that?
It's amazing, actually. As soon as you leave the start line, whatever the adrenaline rush is, everything kind of goes out the window. So any pains or aches or queasiness or anything, it's all gone. And then it all comes flooding back then on the finish line. So it's amazing,
you're in business mode at that point. It's a job.
Exactly.
Josh, how important is a co-driver to what you do? Because there's an element of trust there too, isn't there? I mean, obviously you've got your eyes on the road, you know what's coming to some extent, but you have to trust the person sitting beside you too.
Oh, without a doubt, and I think the co-driver never really gets as much credit as they deserve. It's like sometimes you be going down the stage and we're doing well over 100 mile an hour, and there's this crest and you don't know what's the other side of it, and sometimes you think to yourself, I hope he's right here, because
the definition of a leap of faith, isn't it?
Because I'm trusting him here, so my life's in his hands at that stage. But look at Andy and a few other navigators there, they're top class at what they're doing there, and they always keep me right there, so it's a credit to them.
And it is an endurance, isn't it, for both of you, because you can't switch off for a second. That second that there's any switch off could be the car going off the road. You have to be on it constantly, both of you.
Yeah, it's 110% for it's like a 100-meter sprint for 3 days. So it's Donegal's the tough one. It's the 3-day long haul.
You didn't have the best of starts. They say, you can't win something like this on day one, but you can lose it. You were still in the reckoning. But what were your spirits like, after the not the fantastic start? Did you ever imagine that you could pull it around like you did? Because you have to rely a little bit too on the misfortune of others to some extent.
Yeah, I suppose we did have a bad start to the rally with we just made the wrong tyre call come the start of the rally, and I suppose
Matt Aaron's fault.
Yeah, a bit of that, And look, it was one of those things. I think we were 30 seconds down after the first loop or whatever, and look, as you said, it was a long 3 days, and there was only one thing to do, is just keep pushing on, because there was no doubt that certain things were going to happen. People in front of it, albeit a puncture or one thing or another. So, we just kept pushing as hard as we could the whole weekend, and.
It's like in golf, you play the course, or in darts, you play the dartboard. You can only really focus on what you're doing and leave yourself in a position to, obviously do your best, and if you need to take advantage of a situation, to be in the position to do so.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just one of those things. It's a long 3 days, and to finish first you must finish. And obviously we had a very close race with Alistair in the end, and we got the better of him in the middle of yesterday, and then I think we had a 5-second lead over Alistair, and then unfortunate for him, he got a puncture. So for the last stage, it left it quite comfortable for us. So it was just a nerve-wracking last stage trying to get through it.
Yeah, but I presume the nature of the sport, you'd love to have beat him by about half a second.
Yeah,
rather than him going on, well, I had a puncture.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we were racing him all weekend, so
you had to leave yourself.
It was probably for us. It was nice to actually be beating him whenever he did get the puncture or whatever. That it wasn't just handed to us. Like we were actually ahead at the time. So.
Yeah, exactly. You weren't behind him. He wasn't in front of you. And in terms of then, I mean, you're professionals, but when you've got that bit of breathing space as into the final stage. It could be easy to switch off, but you can't. Obviously, you have to keep the head down. Andy,
absolutely, yeah. No, it's the hardest one really. Sometimes it's easier to drive these things at 100% than 90%. So you never really know what's too fast, what's too slow. So the last stage, even we were going through, I think we were about halfway through, and I said to myself, I think he's going a bit too slow here. And you're kind of thinking about saying to him, push on another little bit again, but then if you do and something goes wrong, you've done the wrong thing. So yeah, it's very, very difficult just to try and judge that at the very end.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes champions. Tell us what's special about Donegal, Josh, from your perspective. I mean, would you say it's better than the Monaghan?
Oh yeah, like it's the Donegal rally, like, and
we'll have to cut that clip and send it down to Monaghan. Just in he's saying something different down there.
Yeah, well, the Wexford rally is the only one that means anything to Andy there. But no, it's just that it's got that prestigious name, and it's the Donegal rally, and I don't really know how to sum it up. And I suppose it wasn't probably till we got to the finish line and we realised we actually done it, and we finished the rally where like all the emotions or whatever flooded in, and it's hard to put it in words like what it
and
really
I think
means.
too the huge crowd that was there throughout the whole event, but particularly that turned up in the evening. I mean, we know it means something, but it means so much when you see so many people out. Like, it makes it all the more special. Andy, would you agree?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I suppose I remember coming in 2006, my first Donegal to watch. I remember being at the finish ramp down in the Mount Errigal Hotel watching Andrew Nesbitt over the line and thinking to myself, I'd love to even come and do the rally even.
Wow.
4 years later, 2010, I did my first one, and I remember just coming up in the crowds and the atmosphere and thinking, geez, imagine what it must be like to win this. And so it was amazing to be there yesterday then, at the exact same place back in Mount Errigal again, and seeing the crowd. It's a brilliant atmosphere. It certainly is the best atmosphere in the country for any of the rallies.
Brilliant. Okay, what do you drive normally, Josh?
Oh, on the road, just a Mercedes, yeah.
Oh, just a Mercedes,
just a comfortable car.
You don't feel really slow going everywhere. I know you're very disciplined, by the way.
Yeah, keep to the speed limit and all that.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah.
What do you drive, Andy?
BMW. But yeah, it's funny actually. Everyone always says you must drive fast on the road, but it's funny when you do so much rallying and you're doing so much of that at the weekends, and you're doing it in the way you should be doing it. You lose interest in want to do anything else on the road. So
it's like the organised different events.
Yeah.
People can go and blow the steam there, and they're less likely to do it on the public roads.
Exactly.
That makes an awful lot of sense.
Yeah.
What does this mean, pardon my ignorance, guys, into the overall championship?
Yeah, without a doubt, that's our third win now this year. So it leaves us in a very strong position now for the rest of the year in the championship. Mathematically, it's not won yet. We still have to go to the next 2 rounds, and we have to, like, if we had, say, poor results there, and some of the other drivers like Callum or Alistair had strong results there, they potentially could still win the championship. So yeah, we need to push on.
Yeah, and you want the buzz of that competition too, isn't it? It's like what we were talking about a little later on. Well, listen, thank you both of you for coming up, and congratulations again for coming up so early as well, because I'm sure there was a bit of celebrating and what have you. And we look forward to you coming back defending the title next year.
Oh, of course.
Do you come as a pair next year, or is that decided, or how does that work?
More than likely, yeah.
Hope so anyway, yeah. Hope so.
Okay. And I just like to thank Divers Hyundai there in Letterkenny as well for supporting us over the weekend as well.
It's a really important part of this game, isn't it? The support of businesses and what have you, and the sponsorship.
Yeah, the sponsorship, without our sponsors and our team there, like, it wouldn't be fit to work for us. So yeah. It's a credit to everybody, and we're very thankful for everybody that helps us along the way. God
who help whoever is helping sponsor the petrol.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you very much indeed again. Congratulations. That's Josh, Moffett and Andy Hayes, driver and co-driver and winners of the 50th Donegal International Rally.